while working with several organizations, one thing that I have often seen is that organizations decide on their strategy fast. They do their functional strategy making, they will do their functional alignments to the strategy. However, sometimes which I've seen them to be drastically failing is the moment it comes to cross-functional work environment. Now, this can be for multiple reasons, but we'll try to explore in this video is that how can organizations make cross-functional working with speed. Now this has been an area which I have worked on with companies a lot, and what I'll try to do is to put some of the perspectives related to this. Now the fact is that as organizations grow more complex and as organizations have become larger, as organizations become more people and process intensive, there are bound to be different points of views, and more so when we talk of across functions. Now, when we are talking of different points of views across functions, how do you come to a common point of view and move across, and that too fast? Also, one of the things is that there is no one expert now anymore. So it's not about an expert coming and telling what to do. This cross-functional working is a must, and it's going to happen more and more over time. So why does okay, take simple things like vendor empanelment. If it's a mission critical vendor empanelment, it would need various departments of the organization to come together to decide. Take something as simple as strategy and goal finalization. How can you ensure that all the departments of the organization finalize their goals fast? How can you ensure that implementation bottlenecks are removed real fast? They are identified and removed really fast. How can you ensure new business growth in various geographies or new channels or new adjacencies? Whenever you look at these kind of things, these are all fundamentally cross-functional decision-making areas, and I have witnessed organizations slow down substantially here at this point, and there are endless meetings, and ultimately no decisions, and decision making is pushed upwards. Now, what I call as upward delegation. Now this is a malice. If these kind of system symptoms do exist in your organization, the truth is that there is a fundamental problem in your organization. What is this fundamental problem? How do you get over it? So let me first say that, therefore, what is the problem? The problem is that there are poor work processes, there is a poor culture, and the other aspect of it which is under scrutiny at this point will be the interpersonal relationships. So there's a poor interpersonal relationship which happens between your team members. Basically what we are saying is unprofessional work environment. The next, what I see here is that there is a lack of cross-functional expertise. So people have not been rotated often in their jobs, so the lack of cross-functional expertise challenges this whole thing. So you might have a sales head who doesn't understand finance or profitability related dimensions very well. You might have a production manager who doesn't care much about the raw material prices fluctuating. He's bothered more about the availability. So likewise. And the other thing is that the big problem is that there is no common goal. As a result of these kind of things, what I have seen is that personally that one department is understaffed and the other is overstaffed. But the overstaffed department is not releasing people for this. They can be multi-skilled, they can be people would be happy to go and work in a mission critical department, but the overstaffed department is just not releasing people. So additional manpower expense. So the company does become non-competitive over time. These kind of problems exist. Technology related fights, so many of them. Now, if I try to see if these are the problems, what is the solution? Now, I will use a management jargon, but definitely one of the big solution is that leadership should be there. Every functional head, every departmental head, every person has to demonstrate leadership. What it means towards goal and towards a culture. The second, which is very important at this point of time, is that every person, the whole organization must have a common goal, and this number should be broadcast all over. It can be the ROI, it can be the profitability, it can be the growth in certain geographies, it can be new products, it can be whatever. But the whole organization has a common goal. Next is every department and every person must be able to state clearly on why do they exist. If they cannot state, either the role is not clear, or there is excess staffing, or it can be a non-mission critical department, or the core competence is shifting. So therefore, in that case, realign the organization. Now, when you have leadership, when you have the whole organization aligned towards a common goal, when you have every department and every person knowing what they are doing and how they are doing, all you need to do is have very professional work processes, practices, and culture. And then you'll automatically see that cross-functional decision making with speed starts happening. I have witnessed an organization which is absolutely misaligned, but when the organization was on the brink of getting closed due to competitors taking most of its market share, suddenly all of the people got aligned, worked hard, and got the organization back on track. The thing is that if a misaligned organization can do this under threat of existence, which is not a very happy situation. So a good organization with good processes and good cross-functional working and good leadership can actually, rather than be driven by threat, they should be driven by the prospect of growth and doing better. Cross-functional decision making, cross-functional working with speed, cross-functional decision making, I feel is a competitive advantage, and the company which can get this fast can actually become a very successful organization and can do better than others and establish it as an ever as a competitive advantage which only keeps on increasing over time. So while others try to catch up, this work process would help an organization really grow by leaps and bounds.